Welcome to the Unlock Podcast. I'm your host, Indano Nekundi. And today we got a special guest, OG, triple OG.
Facts.
Stalwart in the game.
Facts.
Radio
Facts.
legend.
Facts.
You know, entertainment industry pundit also.
Yeah.
So, Cheeze, aka KBVDP, aka Azil, in the house. How you doing, brother?
Easy, buddy. Easy. Talk to me. What's happening?
Nah, thanks for coming on the Unlock Podcast. Here
Anything for you, bro.
Share your knowledge, share your insights into the entertainment industry, you know, your background, your career. I mean, a lot of people want to hear the story. So, I mean, let's get into it. Like, how did you even sort of get into radio? Because people seem to have known you for such a long time.
Yeah.
But before that, what happened?
Before radio, look, when you grow up, you probably wanted to be a pilot, a lawyer, right?
I wanted to be an architect.
Boring, but anyway. Drawing lines with a ruler, come on, who can't do that? But all I'm saying is everybody wants to be something, but nobody knows who and what they are really destined to be. Luckily for me, look, I used to sell photocopiers. I used to sell legal insurance. I used to sell sneakers. My first job was at Edgar's in the sports department. And I was in high school. Look, I loved it because sneakers are my thing, you know. I've always been lucky to always fall into a job that I love. When it came to selling photocopiers, we're not allowed to mention company names here, but that was my second job. And how I got into it was just clearly because I spoke well. I don't know nothing about selling photocopiers. Come on, man. You know what I mean? But it's just, the gift of the gap was always there.
Yeah.
And then even life, when I was selling the legal insurance, I could speak to people, but the paper pushing was not my job, you know? I could sell, but finishing that off was not my forte. So I saw this ad once in radio, auditions for Flum Flum FM at Club London. Oh, am I allowed to say Club London? That was the venue anyway. Rocked up, read a script, left, didn't think anything of it. And then got the call and say, yo, come through. It was Cannibal, Lucy K, Hezron, Tony, Limey, Simasiku, and our production guy was DJ X as well at the time. So that was the core of what the station is right now. That was the beginning of it. So I fell into it just as a joke, but once I got behind the mic, the rest is history. Thank you. That's my answer. Radio's always been there in my life. I used to listen to the likes of Ted Kulu, Robin Tyson, Norman Kotzer, who was my boss at one stage in my career. He was the guy that I also listened to. He was the guy that had personas. He had a persona, James E. Bondi, and he had these snippets on NBC Radio every Saturday morning that he was on. I remember Robin Tyson having, you know, that
OG of OGs.
Yeah, the OG of the OGs had a show every morning. It was a cool show, Boys versus Girls. Radio was always a part of me, and I'm really excited about the next journey right now, you know.
Tell us a bit about that, the beginnings of radio, like just in terms of, you know, who were the pioneers of the radio industry in Namibia?
Look, the pioneers. We all had national radio. You couldn't escape it. But when commercial radio started coming to the fore, like in your early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, they brought another aspect where, you know, national is always censored. You can only give this or disseminate this type of information. But what commercial radio has done, it changed the landscape because now people could request and ask what they wanted, and without being censored. So the pioneers that started commercial radio, what it has done, it actually changed people's perspective of how free you are to say what you want, when you want. And that's what mid-90s radio, growing up with it, has done and has impacted and affected. And with, like I said, the Teps Tulus, the BKs, the Jayas, the Tashias, the maestros, the there were so many people that stood out. I mean, Funny, Lategan, shout out to Mario Locke. OGs of the OG. I'm OG right now, but those are the true OGs, you know what I mean?
The guys who set up the
benchmark. The guys that still used to put CDs in CD players and give you a jam. Danko, shout out to the OGs, man. Yeah.
Shout out to the OGs for sure, because they paved the way. And over time, you've also paved the way for other people.
Facts.
Like, what goes into being a radio DJ or radio personality, let me say it.
Here you go.
How do you find talent?
The thing is, I will be honest with you, Sinna. Being the person that I am, that I know who I am right now, I was always battling with why am I always so upfront, so always straightforward, always loving to strange people or situations. That it's just innately my character. To see what others don't see I think it's a gift. Like you said, people that I've helped, whether it was on radio, personally, or even in their craft. I always feel that if you don't try and elevate anybody, what's your purpose? Are you a human being? Are you just living, or are you alive? That's the question. So yeah, I mean, when Kat introduced me to you, and when you dropped Drifting, that was the first song. That was I didn't even know who you were, but I'm like, is this Kat Namibian? Yeah, he's in Cape Town, but I'm like, let's go. You know what I mean?
Good music, yeah.
And talking about Kat, also how I met Kani. Like I said, I started working with Kani at the station that we started as of, and he said, "Yo, man." When I started talking to Kani, I knew about Black Market, I knew about Caddy Cat, but I didn't know who they were. So when he said Cannibal, I'm like, all right. I'm like, yo, Cannibal from Black Market. Yeah, that's me. I'm like, and then and the rest is history. It's like, then I'm like, where's Caddy Cat? Cat was at UNAM, and I'm like, no, what's going on, guys? And he's like, nah, man, we just, we grow up. I'm like, nah, the game needs you. The game needs you.
Music to be on radio, basically their music.
Hey, just local music.
Local music.
Because the talent was always there. Yeah. The platforms were always a dead end for local artists at the time. So once you brought the marriage back to music and the radio station need each other, I think I was that point. I was that, and I'm not blowing my own horn. It is what it is.
Because at some point, I think it was around 2003. So the nation said, okay, now we gotta play 70% local music, and I think that changed the music industry and I suppose the radio industry in some senses, because now they could almost be closer to the people. How did that, from your point of view, like?
The thing is, whatever is local, people will embrace regardless of the fact, knowing that they're embracing it. We had our Jackson Kayewas, we had our Matongo families, we had artists, William Buendes from way back that we grew up with, that lived and died in obscurity. Let's be honest about it, because there was no way that they were making money from their craft. But what bringing local artists
to for performances,
yes, to work harder, to be recognized, is I think that law or that decision really encouraged that. You know what I mean? For you to work hard as an artist, to stand out in a crowd of creatives is an amazing thing to achieve and do. So if you want to take on that journey, my guy, it's a difficult one, but the ones that put in the graft are the ones that stand out. So I think that has uplifted local creativity to a point. Also, it has a bad side to it, where you get guys...
Are you famous?
No, not that. You get guys who think they're artists, recording in the... Just then they want to give it to you and say, this is it. No.
Yeah, no, I will say the quality dropped a bit.
Yeah, it did. I won't even lie.
The quality dropped a bit because the other old artists were producing in proper studios and everything. Cause
and then Fruity Loops and the home studios came, and look what the industry was pushed into doing. So yeah, no. Low, okay, sorry.
Yeah, but as a result, I mean, over time, things got better, quality got better.
Oh my guy, you should know.
Yeah.
You should know. You should know 6-1. You should know. You know, it was such a beautiful time and blessing. But anyway, we'll talk about that.
When did you start in radio? Actually, like when did you start?
2007, 2008. Yeah.
Can you remember your first show?
Yeah, the Cheese and Lime show.
Uh-huh.
It was, and we were online at first because we were still waiting for a license to be approved or something to be approved. And the first day we went live, we didn't even know we were live. And then this guy JP, shout out to JP, much respect to the OG. We did our first breakfast show thinking we are just online. But then after the show he walked in, he's like, yo, you guys were live, we are live. We're like, and then from there, fireworks.
And I remember the Cheese and Lime show. Then you guys win an award?
Man, all I can say is that no, we didn't. But we won a legacy.
Yeah.
I think it was the first black-orientated, black-run breakfast duo that actually gave the traditionally white stations a run for their money. I mean, I'm not allowed to mention names, but yeah, we gave them a run for their money. We killed any other black commercial radio station then, and we were young, you know.
And over time, you've had shows, you know, in partnership or co-hosts.
Of course.
How important is that chemistry on radio?
It is very important. I am a very when it comes to radio, I'm a different person. I'm a different beast. But yes, I think every entertainer, every creative has that. You have to have that Shasha fears, like Beyonce calls it. You know, I call him KBVDP, the beast. You know, you have to have that. I lost my train of thought there, but anyway.
The chemistry.
The chemistry is very important. It's very important because on radio, theater of the mind.
Theater of the mind.
If we don't vibe, you can hear it. Look, if I speak like this, you can hear I'm smiling, right?
Yeah.
But if I speak like this, okay, it's radio. You have to imagine. So if we can't click while in people's minds, we can't. There's no clicking here. So it's very important. I mean, I actually tried to count the co-hosts that I've had over the past. Actually, I've been doing this for 17 years now. Damn. Anyway, whoa, I'm an OG for real then.
For real?
Yeah. So I think I tried to count the other day, but it was more than 10. But there was one thing that was constant. Sorry, I'm burping into your mic. There was one thing that was always constant. Whoever walked and whoever I shared that path with, I always elevated.
Yeah.
I always try to elevate, and obviously there are off-air clashes and there are personality clashes, but like I said, innately I'm that person who will always mold myself around somebody's irregularities, if you want to say it. Nah, I will take you 100%.
Bit of compromise.
Exactly, but innately I've been programmed to try and help or push or elevate. So anybody that has sat next to me or with me on a breakfast show is known.
What is the difference between like a breakfast show, lunch show, and an afternoon drive show?
Look,
like the dynamics.
The dynamics with breakfast is everybody thinks breakfast is that show, which it is number-wise because you are forced to listen to it in your car. You're in traffic, I have to, okay, these days it's up for discussion what you actually do when you're commuting, but that is when you have the most numbers. So what breakfast shows
It was lunchtime, but anyway, go on.
Exactly my point.
Or drive time.
Exactly my point. So people have, and I will say again, the Cheese and Lime show set the bar so high, and even Jared Locher and Dion set the bar so high that breakfast shows is like everybody wants to come on radio and do breakfast. No, bruh. No, you can't do that if you do not have the personality to talk to somebody who is first of all irritated for sitting in traffic. The kids are probably messing in the car, got a deadline at work, and you want to come and tell me, hey, how are you kiddies? How are you feeling today? I'm like, what, man? What is going on? People want somebody who is not going through the stress I'm going through right now in the morning. So breakfast shows should be personality based.
Okay.
And the chemistry over and above everything. We can say no, Synergy and Cheeze will do a good breakfast show. But when we get on air, we're not vibing. People can hear, like I said, it's not about like TV. People can say, these people have an issue because body language can't be seen. But the way we speak to each other, the way we respect each other's conversation, or not, or each other's point of view or opinion, people can hear it. So basically,
lunchtime dynamics?
Lunchtime is the most important because now the kids are going home. They're a day at school. Now what do you as a driver, you as a commuter in a taxi, you in the office, lunchtime, what do you want to listen to? You want to switch off from work and you want somebody in studio. You want somebody in studio who's going to make me enjoy whatever meal I'm having, or if I don't have a meal, just somebody that is going to make me feel like I can switch off from work. Lunchtime to me is more important than breakfast. Breakfast, we can lie to you just to let you know what's happening, that's it. But lunchtime is like where you can really breathe. Drive time, I am driving home now. When I say, you see, they call it's people in cars. People must get the notion of that only people in cars listen to radio at that certain time. Your time between 9 and 11 in the morning also, it's people in the villages who's got the radio on and they outnumber everybody in the city. So come on now. There's no special time on radio and there's no, if you do the breakfast show, you are the ish or you're that person. No.
Yeah.
It's the person who speaks to the other person. Companionship. That's all people want who listen to radio. They want facts, companionship, and that's it.
And drive time?
Like I said, breakfast and drive, you are forced into a cocoon to listen to me. Yeah? And that's why we see that's where the money is. You must understand how radio makes its money as well. It's the more listeners or the more people you can force an ad on, or an advertisement or an interview on, you think because now corporates are like, okay, hey, did you hear the interview on what time was that? Corporates are like, okay, I want in on that. That's how it is.
How else does a radio station make money? Like, we mentioned now the peak times, and corporates want to be listened to at peak time, because that's when the most listenership is.
Yeah. Look, traditionally, how, and I will not blow my own horn here again, but I will say that I changed the perception that radio stations can't be tangible. Airtime, I mean, even how we make money obviously is from selling time slots on adverts and that's how radio makes it. But it's not a tangible product. The thing is, you are selling first your brand, the airtime, and then the personality that is going to be part of your whatever your vision is as an advertiser. So that's how and then you say, okay, you take a 6 months or a year contract. It's big bucks. Let's not lie, radio makes millions monthly, every month, from just working with different ad agencies, millions, brother. And I don't want to vent on your situation, but the thing is, with so much money being made and with our DJs being paid so, not even peanuts to it. In our industry, you are replaceable. That's what, as long as the show and the station stands, the personalities can rotate. But what big brands these days are losing and they don't understand is, as long as the personality changed, the listenership changed. So whatever you wanted to advertise on that time, that personality that had that listenership has moved with that listenership. So your advert in that time won't make sense now because you have to deal with a new personality. Shoo, I'm venting, eh?
Go ahead.
So, and then I thought your breakfast show was the ish, right? What's happening? No, what's cheese? Honest question. And it was always, no, that guy wants cheese to do his, that guy wants so-and-so to do his. So, the money making in radio, like I said, coming back to why I say I changed how radio had to be seen to make it tangible, was to bring parties to people. You can listen to the radio every day and listen to the DJ, but you don't know what they look like. What I said to them was like, listen, let's see. People know the other stations, but what we did at my first employer in the radio industry, can we say that? Yeah. What we forced was to take the station to the people. And then after that, all the other radio stations had parties. All the others had let the people come. I'm like, you see, and I will say, that station started the whole trend by making radio tangible, by making the personality the star. But it has regressed back to personalities are expendable because moolah is more important. But where they fail is to understand that if somebody innately is blessed with, and I will say like me, if somebody is blessed with the gift of the gap like me, there's no way that you can replace that. You can't make another Cheeze. You cannot. You can try and just better or emulate that he has done, but you're going to fail.
People say they made Hove, so
make another Hove.
I mean, talk about like brand building.
Yeah.
In the radio industry, there was always a lot of like parties hosted by radio stations as well.
Very good.
Like you mentioned, how does that help to elevate the brand?
Look,
and other aspects of branding.
Exactly. The thing is, before, like I say, before my first employers in the industry, and I will say this, and you guys know it, y'all bet a lot from us, and I will say, Sinner, before then, like I said, it was just a one-way traditional thing. This is the station. This is the type of music we play. That was the brand. But when you play the type of music and you rock up to a party and you live that type of lifestyle, it solidifies my what's the word I'm looking for? My faithfulness, my loyalty to the station, because now I can see it's a lifestyle. Radio became a lifestyle. It became a lifestyle. It had to become a lifestyle, and not just a habit.
Lots of late nights.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I think that was the big branding shift that we did in the early 2000s now. Making radio brands tangible, and now what it has evolved into is your digital footprint now is how you get measured as a station, which I also say no. I said everybody's like, yo, we got our listeners, our likes on Facebook. I'm like, no, bruh.
Social media came.
There's Cuckoo sitting there in Kaoko land who's not even on social media. Are her 2 years not counted? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, like I said, branding,
logos,
digital footprints. It's what radio is focusing on.
Corporate collaborations.
Sorry, lost that one?
Corporate collaborations with other entities.
Look, listen, any big corporate gets a budget.
Yeah.
That simply just goes to radio.
Yeah.
And what has happened also is that people do not, big corporates, they don't really listen to, they just give the budget and they don't listen, and they trust whoever they give the money to. Now what has happened?
Give me the report.
Now you have cliques that have money, where money is involved, you will have these type of things. So now you have this brand is only on that station. This brand is only speaking to this demographic or to this LSM. That's not what it is. How and I will say our big white commercial stations are beating these small black commercial stations 6 Love every month with millions of revenue. I say millions because radio makes millions every month. I know. How these guys, because if you're a white Namibian, you're either Afrikaans or you are English, right? And there are 2 stations who cater for both. Now it's blacks. Yo man, once I start, let's just go sub-tribes in the north. And then we go the other 10. Now you see why black commercial stations are struggling or did struggle before. And I will say my first employee in the industry was white owned. It was white management, white paper pushing, white nene. But how we did was they pushed, you guys do you. Do you. Bankroll is full. If you guys get sued, do you.
Understood that.
And it went like, psh.
I mean, are you saying that perhaps black people have too many channels?
If you spread yourself thin.
Yes.
It's a game. It's not a game, but I mean, in any aspect of your life, if you spread yourself, if you're a player and you spread yourself over 6 girls, bruh, you don't know who and what you are then. You don't know what you want. Or you don't know who to cater to. You know?
What are the challenges of running a radio station?
The red tape.
Red tape?
Oh, wait, what are you saying? To run or to start? Sorry.
No, to run, yeah. All the aspects of the challenges of running a radio station.
It's the easiest job or easiest type of business to have. Because I'm selling you air, nothing tangible. I make you believe to invest in something that you can only hear. That's the power of radio. But to run it, I think it's just to get your money. That's the only thing that radio struggles with.
So you have your salespeople?
You have your salespeople, you have your admin, and then you have your on air, and then obviously who manages on air. And then then you have your news department, blah, 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 blah. So yes, they are different. It's just like any company, but it's the easiest thing to do.
You also sell the production of radio adverts?
Exactly. I think the only challenges comes to maintaining and upgrading your equipment, your transmitters, and yes, that is, and it's expensive.
Going digital?
Exactly. It's no child's play, bro. You see, but it is a multi-billion, I say billion-dollar industry in Namibia. Nobody talks about it.
How much do you know about the SA radio industry?
I know a lot. That's why I'm not there yet. I know too much about the SA radio.
Is that a dream of yours to work there, maybe?
It was a dream. It was a childhood dream. And like I said, now that I'm living my dream with all the experience that I have, I'm like, I can only be thankful, man. And as much as it was a struggle for me to actually just come out of my shell again, after having had an affair with my first love, you know, it's like, yo, man, my ex actually just prepared me for my next.
You mentioned it was like very much like a break.
Oh, it was
hot soul.
No, bright. I was
40 years.
Physically, I was mourning. It was a death. Something had died, but what made me feel good about it is I walked away because it had turned into something I couldn't recognize anymore. It had turned into something that is not me anymore. And people have to look at it as progression. It's we are elevating. We are what? No. When Cheeze left with Nami, and now they're there. And now they're like, okay, we have all this high-tech equipment, but we don't have the numbers. What the hell is going on? Like I said, the problem that commercial stations still do in this country is think that talent is replaceable. It's not.
So let's get into more of like the fun stuff about radio. I mean, how many artists and who have you met over time? Like, just drop some names.
Damn. Yo, that's crazy. Obviously, you know what makes my local artist and music journey so interesting is when I started radio, most of the OGs right now started in their careers, the ones that are still standing at the time. So it was a journey starting with them and also discovering new talent. And I'm not name dropping, but honestly speaking, I brought Kat out of retirement. I brought Kanye out of retirement. These guys were like in their mid-20s and like, nah, man, no music. I'm like, no, let's do this. And ironically, the first song that Kat and Kanye recorded together again after having a whole hour conversation in the back of my Polo, I'm like, are you guys done? All right, can we go now? So we went to DJ Cheeze, who was in the Energy production studio, and we did Ilatu Dane. Kanye had the beat.
That sample.
And I'm like,
ridiculous.
I'm like, yo, no, I'm gonna record. I'm like, no, you know what? Get in the car after work, after your show. He had corner to corner with Nona. After your show, get in the car. I just want to take you somewhere. So because I did the breakfast show, went home, and I picked him up after corner to corner, and then I drove to UNAM, picked Kat up. He's like, man, why are you bringing this guy, man? I'm like, nah, you got the beat? You got the beat? And that was a CD. It wasn't no damn stick on him, you know? And so I'm like, you guys are gonna hash things out because I can only hear your voice on this jam. And we went there, they hashed it out, hugged it out. We kicked Cheeze out of the production studio in Energy, and then I liked them big. I liked them. Magic, Kanye did the mastering. Cheeze also. Boom. The rest is history. So, like I said, also when Jericho started, he was huge in the hood. Jericho was that Tupac. Knew Jericho before he was Jericho, because I think what makes me also stand out from a lot of personalities is I got that street plug. I'm that plug. People understand and know who I am, but they know where I come from too, and I've never made it a secret. I always rap Soweto for life. I always rap Penny Street for life, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter who I've met or in my life's journey, it's being where I'm at right now, being home, is the most integral part of any credibility that you can have as a personality. All right,
being authentic.
So I've met, I knew Jericho before then. Yo, dog, he was a dog, but Soweto also, we were dogs too, you know what I'm trying to say? So, okay, the OGs, I was just the one carrying the jackets and the caps, that's all. So I've met, Paradox, I can tell you a story about Cassidy Curran and Tofi Akanjo. I used to visit a friend of mine named Rocky Crest, and Ricardo Manetti, who's Cassidy's uncle, I think, something like that. It's like, yo, Cheeze, man, here's a CD, it's the lighties. I'm just like, okay, these are no, it's Paradox. So this was on a Sunday, yeah?
Yeah.
The Monday morning, I popped the CD in, and we were not even supposed to play CDs, but I just popped it in, and it was a song with Jericho. And these two boys blew me away, and I was like, man, what was the song called? Not Swag or something. But that time I was also, by that time I was already bumping Kadeen, Desmond. I was bumping KK, Lil D, Julian, Eclipse. I was bumping, and then obviously Kanye and Cat started working, and then the hip hop scene just started growing. And I was like, yeah, let's go, we got this.
That was around 2008, 9,
yeah. And I was, like I said, I just started on radio then, and like I said, yes, to the OG still, like even when Gaza them were coming through, they were. Yeah,
they were the big artists.
Then, but when I got to know them, I was like, okay, there was nothing special about them. It was just their hustle.
Sometimes a misperception about people is that artists are normal people.
Yeah, they are normal,
but in the public face they have to be
exactly.
a brand.
Now look at the longevity of these two guys I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Laza, Gaza, we have our own relationship because we started together. Dog, we have our own relationship. And then the newer guys, Exit and Mushe also, they found me in the industry. Industry 911, Ipulu, it's what it is. Been with them with the journey. So sticking with artists, I can go on for days. International artists, we can go on for days.
You made double HP?
Yo, R.I.P. Jabu. I had a 45-minute conversation with him after the interview, and the game that man spit to me, thinking was my station.
Yeah.
Because of the respect you could see in the building and could hear on air. And I'm like, nah, it's that white dude over there is like, nah, cuz, how? And I'm like, yo, man, I'm just starting out. It's like, no, but I can smell you. I'm like, good man, R.I.P. man. Yeah, and then KO, Tear Gas, we had Tear Gas, we had Big Nas, we had DJ Cinder, we brought her here for DJ Fresh, we brought first in yo man, we were on a roll, you know what I mean? So yeah, am I done with, must I name drop some more?
Couple more if you can.
Nah, I'm good, man. But basically, if there's an artist that doesn't know me, then
locally, everybody knows you.
Yeah, shout out to Mazanga, shout out to Arafat, what's up? Yeah.
You've collaborated also with artists, like how has that experience been?
By luck. No, you must understand that Cat, I was always his transport. So studio time, I had to go picking up, watch him record, and it's like, yo, Cheeze, come say something. But let me tell you how the first real Cheeze, come say something happened was the Corner remix. Because I saw DJ and Kanye in production. Yes, we used to record songs in the production at that station that we worked at anyway, and they were hits, by the way. So So the remix, Kanye's like, yo, Cheeze, man, listen to the track and just come say things. I'm like, I don't have time to, because that time I was managing the station also. I was managing him as well. I'm like, brother, you have work. You want me to come say something? No, then I heard like, okay, just say something. Run, remix. This goes out to the, it just came out. That was just off the back. They say it, fact, and they used it. I'm like, you put that in the song, bro. The boys are back, sit down for a minute. Yeah, you know. And then even that, like, I was just ad-lipping, like, yeah, it was like, you know, if you're not from Vintuk, I still gotta love you, but I won't die. And those
Die for my city.
Die for my city. Oh, and you see from corner to Die for my city. You see how that time span of how that movement.
Yeah.
Amazing times, bro.
Tell us something about like studios. You have a story about a studio recordings with artists. Many stories that you can think of.
I have, like I said, man. I was always the guy in the background when it came to so there are some R-rated stories and there's some family-friendly stories. So I don't know which ones you want me to share. All right, so yeah, I've shared a studio with actually recorded in Dog's first room studio in Comesdal. What's up, Morocco? We know. Arafat also just came onto the scene, but Kani and Lucci, thanks for the beat. Been in those studios recently in Gai. Shout out to yo, man. Keep your head up, son. And then I've been in a lot of what studio haven't I been in, bruh? I've been in studio with you.
Yeah.
So why are you asking me questions like that? Where every track that I put my voice to is a freaking hit. Thank you.
No doubt. I mean, I think as an artist, if you recognize it as a hit and it needs the KBVDP blessing on it, like
Facts.
you know,
Sunny Boy, Jericho. I'm on all the albums, homie. So yeah, so you can see that will just answer your question. Studio time, we had some good times in studio too. Not foul times, you know, but also some brotherhood times, you know.
Let's move on to you being an MC.
How
did you progress to becoming an MC now, like for big events, and now you're one of the most highly sought after MCs.
And I charge that too. I'm just saying, it was an easy transition for me because on radio, what you hear on radio and off air is the same guy. You can hear somebody on radio, hi, welcome to whatever, and then you meet him in the hood and he speaks like, oh, Fera, you're like, yo, you know that guy from that station? Yeah, but why you don't sound like that, like this? So the transition from radio to MC was just people wanted to see me say these things they always hear. You understand? So yes, I did start with high school pageants, obviously. You gotta work your way up. Yeah. And then as the brand grew, Cheeze now, as Cheeze, the brand grew, the gigs got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now I am in a fortunate position to charge what I want, and if you don't go with it, you don't go with it. You can't get Mercedes quality if you have Corolla money, you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, you once you pay Cheeze, you know you're gonna get Cheeze.
What's been your biggest highlights for like MC events?
The first album launch ever in the country by the Dog Morocco at Zoo Park. That was my first real big gig, and I got 1,500 for that night. I won't even lie. So, but let me tell you the story. It is not to say it is the biggest highlight. I mean, to me, Big Nas was a bigger highlight than bringing Burna Boy here. People know how I feel about the money that was spent on that, but anyway, that's another story for another day. But all I am saying is, if you had 30 Namibian artists with the same money that you put into that show, you would have made more money. So, like I said, the Dogs, the first CD launch ever in the country was by the Dog. No, proper. The
first proper
CD launch. Yeah. It was packed, and CDs, he sold boxes of CDs that night. That was the first proper, and that was my first gig that really I will never forget. Then we had the Cell C, had their road to, it was live, it was on TV. I was like, yo, this is it. But then MTC came through. MTC, shout out to Tim, what's up, my guy. They always come through with fantastic things for me. Am I allowed to say that? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to them. And then also my biggest to date, like I said, is Dog CD launch. I've been on stage with international artists, but like I said, that was it. I mean, yeah, that was it. Bang Vintu. Shout out to Bang Vintu. But right now, yeah, I'm doing more intimate, more grown-up gigs, more. My people who grew up with me are the ones hiring me right now. You know what I'm trying to say?
Now they got money.
Yeah, they're like, yo, we want cheese, you know. So
they grew up with you.
If you can't pay cheese, you won't have cheese.
You wanna be. I mean, that's another aspect of being an MC.
Yeah.
People being comfortable with you.
Yeah. Companionship. If you can't be somebody's friend, sinner, you can't be on radio.
How much is the importance of networking?
Dude, it's all I do.
Because
it's all you can do.
You just meet people.
Yeah, now it is. I meet people. Back in the day, I wanted to get to know people because I needed to get the brand out. I was like, people, you must listen to my show. You must listen to my show. This is 2007. Now it's like, yo, I listened to your show. I'm like, all right. Is it okay? Yeah, no, okay, shut. We did. You know what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so networking. It's if you don't network in my industry, then
you
go
got
home.
a lot of opportunities just from meeting people.
Man, we had breakfast with members of parliament who just wanted to see us. Am I allowed to say who? But anyway, no, I'm not about to say that. I'm going to leave that out. We had people invite us to their Sunday lunches just to be with us, and these are prominent people in our society when it comes, more or less politically. Because I always talk a lot of when it comes to politics, and because besides the mere fact that Neville Basson is given that platform to tell the founding father in his face about himself in a joke. That is the ultimate goal for me when it comes to my MCing gigs. Because
that's the
comedy is truth. And people see me as a funny guy.
That's
no,
a big skill.
I am just honest. And like I said, my timing when it comes to expressing verbally is off, but it is bringing me the bucks. So that's me in a nutshell.
Bringing you more money. Do you have other business ventures or have tried other business ventures over your career? Oh yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit?
And I'll talk about the legal ones. Yeah, over the years I've tried everything. And like I said, legal or illegal, yeah, growing up I did some, some bad decisions to do and sell, and but it was my circumstance back in the day, Mom just got divorced, single mom. I was thrust into an environment where I come from that I can talk about right now, and I survived. A lot of my peers, sounds cliche, deado, in prison, you know what I'm saying? So radio actually also saved my life, honestly speaking, because I could have just been that guy from Soweto. Yeah. But now I'm that guy from Soweto that speaks to 100,000 people for 4 hours every day.
Would you say then that radio is... Some people say that radio is dying. That the money there is possibly increasing, but you call it $1 billion Namibian industry. I mean...
You should check the books of these stations, bro.
Yeah? Is radio dying? Due to now the...
I don't know if
social media and other podcasts coming into the space.
Let me tell you one thing, and this is the gripe I had with my former employer. To go digital and to have that digital footprint, it's a trend, everybody's there. But like I said, Cuckoo, sitting in Oshivelo, doesn't give a damn about your Instagram post, homie. She still listens to you. So, radio is not dying. It's just trying to incorporate technology and trends and has made radio, people think radio has to change. No, radio does not have to change. Because you know why talk radio is so prominent right now? People don't want to listen to music or news. People want to vent, and that's what radio is, companionship. I bring it back to you. It's you switch on your radio because you want to listen to somebody else have a better day or a worse day than you. Let's be honest. So it's not dying. And why a lot of commercial stations right now are feeling the burn and the panic of podcasts and online content and is the fact they are losing the essence of radio. Radio is it's a person-to-person thing in real time. theater of the mind. If I don't have your mind in the first 5 minutes when I switch on my mic, then I might as well go home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So radio has been there before TV. Radio's been there before GPS, before the internet. So it is not something that's gonna go away. It is part of your life. When the satellites get shut or whatever, who's gonna be there? Radio. When there's no internet, where do you go to? Either music on your phone or you switch on your radio. So radio's not dying. It's just the concept of how it's being done that has changed. But I'm saying people have veered so much from traditional radio that they're actually forgetting where the real magic is. And where the real magic is where the money is. So yeah, that's my two. Radio is not gonna die as long as people wanna listen to another person speak.
Yeah.
It will never die. It will never die.
I wanted to ask you this question. I mean,
ask away, but I told you I will tell you everything.
You're
today.
such a big personality. Why isn't that you haven't started a podcast yet?
Very good. You see, that is. You can smell the podcast on me. When you called me to say, "Oh, Cheeze, I want to speak to you," I'm like, why? Because I don't do interviews. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
Now I hop in my coupe, dodge interviews like that. Know what I mean? But when you called me, you're doing your podcast, I'm like, wow. So are we going 50-50 in this? So I'm at that stage in my life where why I'm not doing it is because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go in 100%. But right now, the paper pushing and the time that I get to see my kids at the stage of my life where I'm at right now is, to me, is more valuable. To rather have this peace of mind than to find another love again and then build this love to the monster and the beast that it is going to be. My timing, I have to gauge. So right now, I'm sitting back because they know when Cheeze comes with his podcast, they know he's coming with his podcast. It's a given, Sinner. You smell it on me. You smell it on me.
I think it'll be one of the most popular.
It won't. It will be the one. I'm just playing. But anyway, so, yes.
Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? You will be.
You see, when I was asked that question, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I said I'm going to own the station. But what life teaches you is like building your dreams on somebody else's dream. No. So, yes, in the next 10 years, the podcast that we are talking about here, like you said, and like I said before that question, it's going to be the biggest. I think owning my own media house and owning my own media. Look, I really want to disseminate
Content creation.
I really want to disseminate what I've learned. To not as in formally, but I would love to lecture or give prospective media students just that push. And I really think not public speaking, but motivational talks are also in the pipeline, because my guy, I've lived the life. You know, from Soweto, I've sat in State House, from dog to freaking Michael Jackson. We've done it all, you know. So yeah, 10 years from now is exciting, because now I'm not starting from scratch. I'm starting from experience, and it's gonna be for me. So.
What's your favorite food?
Everything. Oh man, I know I'm a foodie. I'm a closet foodie, bro. I love to cook. Especially for my kids. Yeah, I used to cook for my kids so much. I'm a closet foodie. I love trying new foods. Some of the best food I had was in Asia. It was in Indonesia. That's where I was actually convinced about sweet meats. You know, because us, it's just savory. We just know salt, pepper. That's it. Spices. But then the palate was introduced to other things. So me, I'm a foodie. My favorite food, I eat everything, bruh. And like I said recently, having had a childhood allergy for chilies, I recently discovered chilies in my late 20s. Yeah. So now I love spicy food. I love spicy food.
Some trauma, but then you rediscovered
love
for chili.
Yeah, I love chili, and also now in my older age, my sweet tooth is also picking up. So yeah, I can't really say. Okay, chocolate cake anytime, but that soft.
Who are you music-wise listening to nowadays?
Right now, wow. Right now, Lloyd. There's one track that actually elevated me, or not actually took me to that album. It is called, I mustn't get them confused now. I'm listening to Lloyd, I'm listening to Trey Songz, Chris Brown. I'm listening to Senior Oats right now, very progressive type of gospel worship type of music. Okay. Senior Oats, it's house, but it is speaks to me, resonates right now. And then in my old school folders, obviously, where's my phone? You know, I can't write R. Kelly off, I'm sorry. Maybe I was made on R. Kelly, I don't know. Maybe you were, so please. So yeah, that's what's locally, nobody.
Let's get into then trends, music trends. How does a radio cope with the changing trends and waves in music?
That's a mistake that most radio stations do, is like they try to be with the wave, be with the trend, not knowing that people who really want to be different and stand out also outnumber some people sometimes. So if you do something that's against the grain, stick to your guns and trust me, it will work out. Like I said, my first employer, we went.
But don't you want to cater for the people? What they want to listen to? What's happening?
Of course, you need to keep your listenership, but then also, you are not a slave to your listenership. If your product or your personality is not so strong to bring people to you, whether they want to listen to you or not, then you shouldn't be on radio. People should want to listen to you regardless, because of you make them feel some type of way. People will not remember what you did for them. They will remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Something to take to your grave.
Yeah.
And that's what, like I said, is theater of the mind. If I can't make you feel some type of way in the first 5 minutes of switching on that, I might as well go home and sleep.
Amapiano is popping now.
Amapiano, man, took me a while to get on the wave, but Amapiano is, you know what, why I not love it, what makes it so unique, it is finally a universal sound coming from Africa that has been embraced. So you gotta wake up then and say, okay, whether it's got this vibe, but let me try and find out. Because, you know, when it comes to music, you don't know the artist, but the jam is popping. But once you start digging into the artist, you're like, nah, man, this guy's actually a a-hole. You know what I'm trying to say? So then the song sounds different. So what Amapiano has done is like, that it's brought a freshness that is internationally recognizable. So you gotta sit up and listen. So don't blame Amapiano, embrace it and understand what is it doing. Because now, guess what Amapiano is doing? It's regressing. You have hip hop artists now.
Touching in.
And then
it becomes the sound, it's the wave now.
It's the wave. But it will always go home to hip hop and Kwaito. It will always go home.
Yeah, no, you find that they're sampling also a bit more.
There you go. Well, they're out of ideas now with Amapiano. So
exactly. It's taking different forms.
Yeah, now it's sounding, hey, this is, no. Like DKM, like Kwaito, like, what was the other wave, man? What was the other wave? Like Gom, they used to call it. Like Damara Punch. Everything has its time, has its season. So the wave of Amapiano right now, I feel personally, it is a lifestyle, especially for South Africans who I have to commend for being out there creatively and for the world embracing you. Internationally being embraced for a local sound is what everybody should be dreaming of, you know what I mean? So do you think that our local artists can go sell out a stadium in Nigeria, but we can go to our stadium and sell it out because of a Nigerian artist? So what are we doing wrong? What's to say that we are not on par? Don't tell me population or technology or no. We have all these things here. It's just we are not artists. Like I said, when I mentioned in the beginning of this interview, was that artists like Jackson Kayewa, William Wende, we don't see money in that industry. So why must, you know, I'm not going to push myself, but the thing is, you can make the millions as Gaza. You can make the millions as Dog if music is not just your hustle.
You gotta expand the brand, go into other
Take
ventures.
care of the body that makes the money.
Even in America, I mean, the richest artists didn't make it from music, they wealth, I mean.
The richest artists get killed or they're in jail. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, when it comes to us,
America.
But when it comes to us, then I still have a personal gripe, and I'm going to say it with which ministry, which is youth, sports, and culture. I have a personal and huge gripe, but like I said, I time my wars these days. I just don't my timing of what I say and how I say is I'm gonna come for those. Whoever's gonna be minister of it next year or the year after that, just know that I will make noise so loud that I'm gonna make your life uncomfortable. It's not a threat, it's just a fact. Thank you.
You're almost speaking like an activist for the industry.
It's time for me to speak up.
Yeah.
I've taken 2 years off, but now, like I said, when you came to pick me up, I was like, yo, man, actually needed this.
No, man, we needed it. I think the people needed to hear your story. I mean, for somebody who's such a big personality in the entertainment industry and has inspired other, radio personalities to get into the industry.
Yeah.
And, I want to say thank you as well for being such a great MC, because we need those type of people who we can relate to in the industry. And I think for other people coming up, that they take direction from that, from being authentic, being yourself, learning how to network with other people, and having that open up other opportunities for yourself. And on this podcast we call Unlocked, we are about knowledge.
My first podcast, by the way. A lot have asked. I only said yes to him because he's a brother. I don't do interviews, man.
No, for me, that's a.
I'm a very private person, actually. People don't know. When I go home, I'm the quietest. Uh-huh. If you know me, I'm quiet.
You're actually quiet.
I'm just that guy. So, like I said,
what are the final words you would like to leave for the audience?
For the audience, I would just like to say thank you to everybody who's always been there, or everybody's ear that has always had their voice, this voice in that ear. I have kids saying that I grew up with you. I grew up going to school, but now there are these young professionals, like you said, making me have these gigs because now they have the spending power. It just shows that it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are. It's just your drive and your will, your morals and your standards. And if you know your value, then you will do anything. You will do anything. You will do anything to uphold your values and your standards. If you can push and do that, if you believe in something, your dreams will get crushed. You will get obstacles in life, but the thing is not to give up. That's why I say, I actually at one point in my life forgot where I came from, because then life became too much. But then, because from Soweto, you've seen worse. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, believe in yourself. Most importantly, know your worth. No brand, no company is bigger than you. No, you should work yourself to a point. And that is not just saying you're putting in the hours. No, it is financially, psychologically, emotionally. You have to immerse yourself into that goal. A goal will only remain a goal if you move the goalpost.
A goal will only remain a goal if you move the goalposts.
If you move the goalpost.
If you move the goalpost.
Yeah.
So
don't get too comfortable in your lane.
Don't get
Change your perspective every time. Revisit your dreams. Because once some people's dreams get shattered, they die, bro. They die with their dream. You need to regroup, move the goalpost again and say, okay, let's go. Keep on moving your goalpost. People say, no, you won't achieve your goal if you move the goalpost. No, move your goalpost. Try and push yourself to any limit. Try anything in life at least once, except for drugs.
Everybody, Cheeze, KBVDP,
Easy.
Azil.
Bro, you said there was going to be vodka here, man. I'm just playing. Making me drink water the whole day.
Yeah, don't worry, after this. Catch you.
I have to say thank you to you, man. Thank you so much.
No, it's been a pleasure. On our Unlock podcast, knowledge creates opportunity. Tune in next time for another great episode of Great Insights. And we thank Cheeze for coming through today, sharing his knowledge, sharing his insights into the radio industry. I think a lot of people aren't aware of exactly what goes on, and I think how can people find you if they are looking for you?
At KBVDP, across all socials. Gas Baspanti Plus. Did I tell you about the story about KBVD?
Nah. Oh, yeah.
Nah. Oh, okay. So Gas Baspanti Plus means, okay, Cheeze, boss of the farm. And I always used to consider Windhoek as my farm. And always in the mornings, had this in my mind that I'm speaking to people who I'm sharing the farm with. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So, but
like
on the weekends,
public announcements
Kas Funny Plus. But on weekends, Kas Funny Plus. The P changes to something else. You don't know what I'm trying to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This has been the Unlock Podcast. Join us next time. My name is Sindano Nekundi, your host. See you next time.